James Hill with Duane Underwood, talking Pirates baseball. Talk a little bit about the training camp so far, what you see around here at Pirate City.
Just a completely different environment. See a lot of passion, you see a lot of hard work we've been putting in over the years, but now it's all kind of coming together. You got some better guys around here with some real time that have been around the game and have played it at a very high level. And when I say high level, you talk about a lot of playoff experience, and that's where you want to be at the end of the day. So for those guys that drop in and give their knowledge whenever, and they're super open. Anytime you want to question, you got something you need to ask, they've been available. And anytime you can get that kind of environment, that kind of winning environment around you, that's what you strive for, and that's what you hope at the end of the day. So it's been a real pleasure, and looking forward to the rest of camp.
You guys have a certain look in your eye, a certain seriousness. Just talk about the Pittsburgh mentality and coming out here and playing baseball at the highest level.
That's what you try to do every day, man. And it's just like I said, I go back to the veterans and everything that they bring to the table, and that's what you learn from those guys. You learn that 162 game drive that gets you to that next level to where you're able to play postseason baseball. And at the end of the day, that's all you want to do, man. You want to go out there and compete at a high level, and those guys, they've done that. And for them to bring that energy and that vibe and all their knowledge, that's just a blessing.
For your legacy to be a part of this legacy with, guys like Parker and Stargell and the striped hats, the pinstripe,
yeah.
The one I had when I was little. Just talk a little bit about that legacy in Clemente and what it's like to have a P on your chest.
Yeah, no, I mean, through the history of the game, Pirates Day, I mean, they've brought a lot of culture to the game of baseball. I mean, Pittsburgh in general, you can even take it back to the Negro League days with the Pittsburgh Crawfords and the Homestead Grays. I mean, just the environment that Pittsburgh is, it's a grindy town, and it's nose to the ground and hard work. And you saw those guys when they played and how hard they worked and how grindy they were, and the kind of energy and the kind of mentality they brought to the game every day. That's something you like to, if not recreate, try to go past and do more. So that's what the energy is, and that's what the vibe is around here. You just want to keep that going into the season.
The Black History Month, the throwbacks, if you will, the Negro Leagues, the Crawfords, as you say, Indianapolis, all these different teams are part of that legacy. Satchel Paige, and the list goes on. Just talk a little bit about what that means to you personally.
For me personally, I mean, those are the guys that kind of, gave a gateway for me to play this game. I mean, those guys, they played baseball at a very exceptionally high level. And although not every single one of those players got to integrate into the game of Major League Baseball, I mean, you go back and you look at some of their numbers and you hear some of those stories. Those guys played the game as hard and not, if not better than some of the guys that were in Major League Baseball at the time. So for me, it brings a lot of pride to me, and it's something I try to bring to the ballpark every day.
Saturday, we fast forward. Next thing you know, we're all over at Lecom. You're looking over at Toronto, and it's time to play ball, if you will. But just talk about continuing to chip away and grind and do your job.
Yeah, you just got to dive into the process. The process is winning. So from day one, game one, you want to take everything that you've built up so far, and now we're kind of getting to the live BPs today, but you want to take all of this energy, all this winning mentality, all this grind, all this blood, sweat, and tears you put into your craft, and you want to bring it into that first game, and that's when it really starts. I mean, I know it's not regular season, but spring training game one, you want to come firing out on all cylinders, and then hone in your game a little bit. But you want to go out there and try to compete with everything you're doing. If it's just one inning at a time, or it's every other day, or if for batters, if it's just a couple of bats, you want to make sure you take those as serious as you can, because that's the kind of things that I've learned translate into the regular season.
The pitching count, is it speeding the game up? Is it changing the game, or is it too early to kind of see that so far?
I honestly think it's a little early. We played with it today with the live BP, and just from my personal view, you've got a lot more time than you think you do. As long as you stay in the dirt and you stay involved in what you're doing, I don't really believe it's going to speed guys up at all. I think it's just if anything, it's just going to keep you where your feet are, and that's another thing that comes with being grounded, being within yourself and controlling the uncontrollable. So I don't really think it's going to have as big as effect as you guys may think, but I think it's going to be I honestly think it's just going to help this game evolve more than it already has.
In closing, the fans are here. They love you guys, and you guys are able to sign for them, and they get to see you up and close and personal. Talk a little bit about the spring training from a player's perspective, what it's like.
You love to see the fans. I mean, that's what you do it for. That's they come out and support us, and obviously there's no ticket sales or anything going on right now, but this is the time you can get personable with the fans. They're right there. They're with you working. They're with you. They're seeing your grind. They're seeing the behind the scenes. And even though it's not game time, you always want to give 110%, 120%. You want to give those the fans a show, and I feel like so far this camp everybody's been doing that.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem.